All right. Welcome to your Brazil versus Germany semifinals review, game one. This was played on Tuesday. Sorry for the late post for the video. Had a lot of stuff going on, so I couldn't get the video up, but it's finally here. I think this weekend maybe going at it solo. I didn't get Luke to confirm if he was going to join me or not. So at least for the Brazil one, I'll do it alone because I know he likes the Netherlands team. So um, he'll probably want to join in for that one. Now, guys, I do not know if you remember I said that I'm a Brazilian supporter. I am a Brazilian supporter. And before I really get through this review, I want to keep this video short. I don't want this video to go past 20 minutes. Before I get into that, I want to talk about two things that upset me, two things that really annoyed me, grind my gears if you want to put it that way, in this match and the events surrounding this match. First of all, the first one are bandwagonists. Now, I'm not going to tell anyone who they should or shouldn't support. That's your prerogative. If you want to back, Brazil, if you want to back Germany, you want to back Chile, you want to back whoever, that's your business. But what annoys me is when fans come and support the Brazilian team, and after they support the Brazilian team, they turn around when Brazil got beat and supported the German team, and that's fine. If you want to do that, it's cool. But in addition to supporting the German teams, these same people turn around and bash the Brazilian teams like they never supported Brazilian teams. That is garbage. I don't understand that. How can you turn around after you back the Brazilian team, confidently believing Brazil is going to get through, and then they don't get through? They don't win. They don't go to the finals. They don't win the trophy. How could you afterwards turn around and take the same Brazil team and bash them for not going through? Those kind of people in some countries out there would get shot. I'm not saying I would shoot you, but I'm saying that because of certain people's passion for the game, they will shoot you for the nonsense you're doing. It's like someone who's married or who's in a relationship, and he cheats on his girlfriend, and then he dumps his girlfriend, gets another girl, and then goes back to his ex-girlfriend and tells her that it's her fault that he broke up with her, and he taunts her and teases her. What kind of sense does that make? That's stupidity. Similarly, people that go and support the German team, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you who to support or who not to support. You have a right to choose who you want. But what I don't respect are people that jump from one side to the next and then bash the other team that they're supporting. It's the same thing for me when I follow Manchester United at the club level. You have Manchester United, the top dogs for a number of years and for centuries, being on top. Then last year was a horrible year. The year before that, they barely got through and won. But this year was like the worst for them. You have a lot of people who were Manchester United supporters, and I see it all the time. Some of them are people that I know personally, and it's like you see these people supporting Manchester United, and then after the fact that Manchester United lost started playing badly, they switch sides, and that's fine. But then these same people turn around and bash Manchester United like they never backed them in the first place. That to me is garbage. It's foolishness. Doesn't make any sense, and those kind of people should not be allowed to watch football, in my opinion. I respect people for their passion. I respect people that stand by their team and watch the team play. You know what I'm saying? And for you young people, whomever it is, whoever is watching this video, if you want to support Brazil, my advice to you is to do the research of the club and find out where the history of the club really started, because it fuels your passion. I had to do the research. I came up like everybody else, and I was watching football from a young age. And where I live in Barbados, you'll probably see like the average person will be a Brazilian supporter. And a lot of people follow Brazil, and I follow Brazil too. But I did something different. I didn't just follow them because my parents followed them, or my father, at least I should say, followed them. But I actually went and did the research and found out why Brazil was the club that everyone backed. And I guarantee you half the people that follow Brazil where I live probably don't even know why they back Brazil anyways. But that's their prerogative. And I'll say this too. Anything you want to support, make sure to do the history of the club and support your club. Don't let anybody change your mind. And that's why I don't respect about people that do that. That is absolute garbage. I'll try not to get really upset because I'm not been feeling that well. So I mean, like, I was gonna do this review on Tuesday. I was gonna do this review on Tuesday, and I was very pissed off when I did this review. After I did this review on Tuesday, I think I probably would have said something that I didn't want to say, and as a result, I'm very glad I waited till Friday. It's Friday night now. I'm doing this. I'm glad I waited till Friday night to do this review because I'm much calmer, so I'm not able to get as upset. But it still annoys me when people do that because I see all the statuses on the internet with people posting this and that against Brazil, and I'm like, weren't these the same people that were backing Brazil just a short while ago? Why are you bashing the team that you just backed? Makes no sense to me. You would never see me go on Facebook and say, "Oh, Brazil sucks," Brazil's horrible, and ha ha, poor Brazil. Oh no, I'll say that Brazil suck, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I won't say Brazil suck on the basis that I'm switching sides. I'm saying it as a passionate fan who understands that Brazil should be playing better. Now, I'm not a person who's passionate about his club to the degree that he will take his own life because they lost. I'm not going to take a rope and wrap it around my neck and say, well, Brazil lost, my life is over. I understand it's a sport, but I respect people's passion and the loyalty that people show for their club back in the day. And by result, by nature, you should not be going out there and doing that garbage to the teams by switching sides and then booing the people. Stay on the side you want to support, switch sides, but just keep your mouth shut and stop bashing the players, man. People respect their clubs and at least have a respect for people that respect their clubs. That's all I gotta say. And if you think this rant is stupid, well, that's your business. I don't care. In all honesty, I really don't care. That's my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's your business. I'm just stating my opinion. If you want to debate it, go ahead. Alright, so that's complaint number one. Like I said, that's how to get off my chest. Not as much as before, but I'm still a little ticked off. This second one is the one that ticks me off more than the bandwagoners. Is the crappy performance that Brazil went out there and called football. And if you read the caption for this thing, it says, worst defense in history. I was going to say the worst team in history, but I don't think I should say that. I don't think that's fair to say it's the worst team in history. I think it's the worst defense I've ever seen in history. You have a team that goes out there, that you're playing in your hometown. The people are backing you, right? They support you. They cheer you on. You're doing good. You have a team where the players go out there and they're playing for a legacy that people like Didi, people like Pele, people like, what's his name, Gerson, if I called his name correctly, people like Tosato, people like Nilton Santos, people like what? Who am I leaving out? Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Romario, Zico, all these great players, Socrates, all these great guys that played for Brazil back in the day, Djalma Santos, all these great guys that played for Brazil back in the day and worked hard to get to Brazil to the level they're at. Falco, another good player there. All these guys that build the Brazilian team up. Vava, or Nito for some people who know him as that. Who else did I leave out? Santos, there's another Santos, the name is not coming back to mind right now. Emmanuel Santos, I think that's his name. All these great guys that play for Brazil. Like, guys, do you understand that Brazil is a team that once upon a time they were like the top dog in World Cup football. I remember the 1958 World Cup, and they said, well, I don't remember, I wasn't born then, but I remember doing the research for that. And they said that the coach then did not even want the players to smoke. He didn't want them to talk to the media. They couldn't drink. They had to be training. They just reported to their training centers. They worked hard. They were the only team in the 1958 World Cup that took their players and a whole year and ahead of the game, or ahead of the tournament, they took the players over to the Europe side because the World Cup was played in Sweden or Switzerland. It's Sweden, right? Sweden. Played in Sweden. They went down there, and for a whole year they were scouting the talent. For a whole year, they're the only club that did that. Guys, they took this thing serious. Then you have this Brazilian team go out there in this tournament and play half effort. Every game half effort. They won against Cameroon, They won against Chile on penalties. They won against Colombia. They won the games. Sure, fine, whatever. But the performance was always subpar. And then this Brazilian team. And by the way, I'm being honest with you guys. I didn't think Brazil was going to win this World Cup. I wanted them to win it as a Brazilian fan. But the way they were playing, I said they're not going to win this World Cup. And I'm being honest about that. I said that from day one. I said they have to work really hard to win. There's a tweet, a Facebook post I put up. But guys, I really have my doubts about it. But I could see them winning if they played their very best. And somebody else also messed up. Because this wasn't the best Brazil team. Like I said before, I wanted Alexander Pato on the team, but I understood his reasons for not being in this tournament. And I told you guys, check out that story if you got a chance. But basically, you have this Brazilian team who goes out there to the World Cup. They get to Germany. The whole team is backing, the whole crowd is backing them. Well, most of the crowd is backing them. And they go out there and play a bunch of garbage. Some of these goals were hurtful as a Brazilian fan. To see the despicable football that these guys play, that they call football, then the other players before them would have played with pride. That would have fought for pride as a football thing. Guys, 1950 World Cup. Brazil was supposed to win against Uruguay. They call it the Marcanza. I think it's the term they call it. I'm not very good with these terms, so forgive me if I butchered the term. They went up against Uruguay to win the World Cup. And all they needed to do was draw the tournament. It was so bad. So Brazil went. They were supposed to draw. The Uruguay team came and beat Brazil. I think it was 3-1 or 3-2. Guys, the nation went into mourning. By the 1958 World Cup, the coach brought in counselors, psychologists I should say, for the Brazilian team so that they would be able to cope with the defeat that happened 8 years ago. Because some of the players were still affected by something that happened 8 years ago. They needed counseling, guys. Do you understand how serious they took their football? You have these guys go up there and play a bunch of garbage that they call football. Disgrace a nation. And then you have someone like Daniel Alves, who I've never really liked. I've never been a Daniel Alves fan. I respect his talent, but I never digged him as a player too much. I didn't really like him. Maybe just because I think he's a guy who likes to work the system, work the referee to his advantage. And I don't respect that. But I've never been a big Daniel Alves fan, but he plays for Brazil, so I at least watch him. He goes out there on the media and talks about, oh, I don't think this loss will tarnish the player's career. I think people will remember Brazil for the other things they did in the World Cup, the good games we had before this one. I don't think the 7-1 will stand out. Are you kidding me? One year from now, they're gonna ask you, hey, you remember that World Cup, FIFA World Cup 2014? Yeah, remember Brazil? Yeah. You remember that game Brazil played against Chile? You know, when they went out to penalties? Not really. Colombia, you remember that one? Kind of. You do remember when Brazil played against Germany and they beat them 7-1? Oh my gosh, how could I forget that? Of course I remember that. What kind of garbage is this player talking about? The player's legacy career won't be tarnished. Are you kidding me? This is humiliating. And this is showing the level that football has gone into. That they think that a player, this diminishing performance here, isn't going to be remembered. The die-hard fans will remember this garbage. The horrible performance that was put on. And they won't forget it. And every time Brazil goes against Germany, I am going to remember and say, geez, on brag. This was when we got beat 7-1 at the World Cup in their own backyard. Your own backyard, you get beat. You don't even get beat on foreign soil. You get beat in your own backyard. That's despicable. How can anyone think that's acceptable for football? You get beat in your own backyard 7-1. Now listen to me. I don't have a problem with Brazil losing. I don't have a problem with Brazil losing the game. But getting beat 7-1 is humiliating, especially when the guys play so poorly. The psychology of the Brazilian team is poor. So poor that when the first goal went in, they gave up. The game was done. If you guys watch the game and you see how Brazil scored, when Germany scored their first goal, Brazil just gave up. They were like, okay, well, we tried. No poor psychology. So look, that's annoying, man. They crap on the player's legacy. when you know some of the greats that came through Brazil's team. The 1982 World Cup team that they said the best team that never won the World Cup. But you had Zico and you had Socrates, Dr. Socrates as they call him. You know, you had what's that guy's name? Claudio. No, the keeper. You had him. You had good guys in that team, and they didn't win. They didn't win. I don't know, guys. It's just poor that the players have this casual report. Some guys were crying, but that comment from Alves just fired me up more, man. Just fired me up more. Anyways, let's get through this game. Like I said, I don't want to keep this video too long, and I spent most of this video ranting. And I'm sorry about that. Just had to get it off my chest. So I'm gonna run through this pretty quickly because it's hard for me to stomach this here. And I have here. Must I really review this crap fest? Let me just say first off, getting into this game, that congratulations to, I'm going to get his name wrong, so let me just pronounce it very slowly because I don't get the names very right. Miroslav Klose, that's his name, right? If I'm wrong, forgive me. Miroslav Klose for scoring to be the top goal scorer for Germany and being the top goal scorer in the World Cup, outdoing the great Ronaldo for Brazil. You know, I'm happy for him that he did that. I always respect players that work hard at their craft. They say Germany's never lost a match at international level when he scored. So, you know, good. 36 years of age is how old he is. 36. Yeah. So he won't be at the next World Cup, but it's good to see he ends it with this performance. Sorry it's against my team, but if your team plays like garbage, well, you know. So this game has no Neymar. As you know, Neymar was taken on the last game. His vertebrae was, you know, fractured or ruptured. Fractured, I think is what I said it was. So he was out. No Thiago Silva. He got suspended because of the yellow card he picked up. So that was a problem there for Brazil also. I might add, I watched Brazil Confederation Cup. I watched Brazil's entire tournament when Brazil beat Spain 3-0 at the Confederation Cup last year. It was a case where David Luiz was not leading strike. If you check this whole tournament, Brazil never played a game with David Luiz, the main striker. It was always Thiago Silva and David Luiz, which tells me that Thiago Silva is really the brains of the operation of the defense. It was not David Luiz. And it showed in this match when David Luiz was the main defender and he could not come through for Brazil. His defending was horrible. Absolutely atrocious defending. No marking. I don't know what he was doing. This horrible defense. This horrible defensive play. So no Thiago Silva. So let's go through these goals very quickly like I said. Marcelo, Dante, David Luiz, and Macon played in defense. Marcelo played on the left, Macon played on the right. Yeah. Julius Caesar, to me, was a hot mess at certain points. The first goal he let in through his leg off the corner, which kept low. And I went back and I watched the game, and I have here that no one marked Thomas Muller. There was no one near Thomas Muller on the far post. David Luiz, all the other guys are up there trying to, you know, make sure the ball doesn't go over the player's head. It goes over their head. Thomas Muller had tons of space. He hits it low, and Julius Caesar can't get anything done. He can't stop it. So, as a result, that's the first goal there for Germany. 1-0. And that was in the... I don't think I have the time right now, but I think that was the 10th minute. I thought I wrote down the time for that. Second one, though. Fernandinho can't stop the incoming ball from the edge of the line in Brazil half despite the lunge. So a ball was passed down the in the midfield in Brazil's half, and Fernandinho lunges out to stop the ball. He's very unsuccessful at that, and the ball falls into, who was the player's hand again? Foot, sorry, it fell to? It fell to Toni Kroos, who passed to Thomas Muller, who passes it to Klose. Klose takes a shot. Now he's in front of the goalkeeper. He takes a shot. Caesar knocks off a good save, but the ball rebounds right back to Klose, who puts that in comfortably, and that's 2-0. So, okay, at this point, I'm like, well, you know, Brazil's going to have a lot to do, and I don't think they're going to win, but at least show me some heart. At least show me some of this, you know. I was asking for too much, apparently. In the 22nd minute now, Brazil defenders just seemed to be standing up in the box looking lost. There was no urgency. Like I said, for the moment the first goal went in, Brazil players just gave up. They were done. 1 minute later, Ozil passes the ball to Lam, who has the whole right flank for himself, by the way. Not a soul is marking Lam. Tons of open space. The ball is crossed in. The Brazilian watch it as it goes to Klose. Guys, there was no one marking Kroos, Tony Kroos. He slots it in from the edge of the box comfortably into the left netting, left side of the pocket of the net. Comfortable goal for him. It was despicable. No one is marking the guy. The ball comes in. The guy has ton of open space. Bam. Go. No David Luiz marking. No Dante marking. Just absolute garbage. That was 1 minute later. You think that was bad? You had you had, what was it? I think that was a minute later. Guys, the ball wasn't even cleared properly yet. Fernandinho gets the ball. He's back in play. He's facing his defense. Facing his goalkeeper. Tony Kroos runs up. He runs up to the box, dispossesses him, and passes it to Caldera, who draws the goalkeeper over to his side before passing it back to Kroos. And Kroos just puts that in comfortably. 4-0. 4-0. And we were just in the, sorry, that was 4-0, and we were only 26 minutes in. 29 minutes now. Ball passed through about 3 or 4 Brazilian. By the way, all the Brazilian players are just standing up together like they're having a group meeting or something. And the ball just goes straight through all 4 of them, 3-4 of them. Passes the ball over to Caldera, who passes it to Ozil, who passes it back to Caldera inside the box, and he does not miss that one. 5-0. 29 minutes into the game, and the game is already done. By this point, I was tossing my notepad away. I was writing out documents. I had the documents here, writing notes on here. And I don't know if you could see it, but I actually start writing at a particular point. I wrote like halfway. You can't see the latest part. I apologize for that. I wrote like just a quarter of the page, like just a little bit. I wrote to this length, about this length here. I stopped writing. I just tossed away the paper. I couldn't watch it anymore. Garbage. Garbage. I had to watch the game later. I couldn't sit down and stomach that garbage. So we get the 69th minute. I'm just running through the highlights because this game is depressing me. Lam comes up, passes the ball once again to open space in the flank to Caldera. Caldera passes the ball into Lam inside the box, who crosses it to Andre Shulker. I think that's his name, Andre Shulker. And he taps that one back into the net comfortably. With 4 defenders inside Brazil's box and not one man marking. You literally have 4 defenders standing around this guy and not one of them marked him. Not one. He just walks in the box, bam, in the net. Oh, go. Where am I now, guys? What goal am I at now? That's number 6. A lovely reverse ball play to Scott Schürrle. Andre Schürrle is the name. I remember now. Andre Schürrle, who has tons of open space, and he blasts that into the net comfortably. 75 minutes into the game. And the game is not just done. Brazil's players' careers are done. The legacy's tarnished at this level. Sure, they go back and play their local games, and people will probably forget about it in a few years. But the die-hard fans will always remember. I will remember it, like I said, as long as I live. The commentator said that this German team was playing like the German team of the Brazilian team of yesteryear. Do you know how hurtful that is for Brazilian fans to hear? They're playing like the old Brazilian. The Brazilian team is playing like garbage. The German teams are playing like the Brazilians of the days gone past. Even the Brazilian teams that weren't winning between 1970 to 1994, they were still better than this garbage that they put out on the field. Absolute nonsense. So we go on here, and I'm at the end of my notes basically. Oscar gets a good ball going forward from Marcelo. Gets a good ball going forward. He dribbles past, so he doesn't get a ball from Marcelo. He gets a good ball going forward. Well, maybe it's from Marcelo, I can't remember. But he got the ball going forward. He dribbled past the keeper and the defender, and it just I said Oscar, sorry. I meant to say Urzo, because I'm skipping ahead in my notes here. Urzo got a ball early up in the game, and he actually got past the defense, but he just shoot the ball wide. Not it would have been 8-1 or 8-0. So I don't think Oscar would have scored. This final one now was Oscar gets a good ball going forward from Marcelo. He dribbles past the keeper, Oscar, and the defender, and puts it into the net. And this is like 89th minute, making it 7-1. Basically, the keeper came out, Emmanuel Neuer, who's top keeper. The shots that Brazil got in the second half, he defended like a champ. This one, he wasn't too sure if he should go out or stay back. And at the last minute, he realized he should not go up for the ball. He decided to run back. The Oscar ran past the defender, got past him then in the box and slotted home. Saved Brazil somewhat of a consolation goal, but it didn't make a difference. 7-1. The split second of indecision allowed the goal to get scored, and you can see how upset the Germans were. They looked pissed off. They didn't look like a team that just won 7-1. They looked upset over the fact that they let in that goal. That's the passion that the German team was playing with, and that's why Brazil upsets me with the garbage they put up there. Absolute trash performance from Brazil. Nothing good to say about the Brazilian team in this game. Neymar, people want to know if Neymar would have made a difference? Absolutely not. He's not a defender, he's a striker. Unless he has some resume that I don't know about, he's a striker. He's not a defender. So he wouldn't have made any difference unless he could put in some goals. And the way his team was playing, he wasn't going to get any goals because they weren't going to set the ball to him anyways. Thiago Silva would have made a difference, a big difference to the defense. I do not think they were going to be so bad. They may have still lost, but I don't think they would have lost so bad because Thiago Silva is a good defender. And now Germany goes to the final. Congrats to the Germans. Garbage from Brazil. I hope none of those defenders that played in that game should come back for the finals. Ramirez should have been brought on earlier because Ramirez can play offensively and he can play defensively. He was not on earlier, and as a result, a lot of the goals got wrapped up. So that's all I have for you guys, okay? I hope you enjoyed this review. I try not to keep it too long, but I ended up going over my time and I promise, guys. But Brazil, garbage. Germany, well done, guys. Well done. Great performance, guys. And I already expect, personally speaking, that Germany will win the World Cup. That's just my belief. I have to do the video on Netherlands versus Argentina. I have the notes for that one. But I want to see if Luke wants to join that one. So when he's available, we'll probably do it. If he takes too long, I'll probably just do it just to get out of the way. But guys, leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this video. You know, what you thought of the match. Give me your comments. Give me your honest opinions. Like and subscribe to my channel. You can hit me up on Twitter at Dharma24. Subscribe here at DGen Inspires. You can follow me on Darren Nichols on Facebook if you want to. Doesn't really matter to me if you don't. DGeninspires.wordpress.com is where I do stuff non-related to sports. We're talking stuff involving motivation. We're talking about stuff dealing with personal issues because I'm training to become a mental counselor. At least I think that's what I want to become, or a family counselor. Maybe I'll change my mind, but for now, it's like mental counseling. I'm doing a lot of posts on there, guys, and I'm looking to expand that and use that as a platform to market my business someday. I also am working on a blog site for sports, for football and cricket, so you guys can chat over there to that. Subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be doing more sports events, more football, more cricket events. Subscribe, guys, and stay in tune. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in again. Sorry for making this video run so long, but Brazil horrible again, Germany great. See you guys in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.